Hey, this is Anthony from RevZilla TV. You can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new Kabuto RT-33 helmet, available at RevZilla.com. New for 15, this is the Kabuto RT-33. Playing at the top end of their range, it's going to really steal a lot of DNA off that FF5E, which is your thoroughbred race helmet. But what they've done is they've taken an approach and said, how much weight can we save? So the big call out here is you're still looking at a track, sport, street-oriented helmet that's going to allow you to ride very aggressively, but they've taken it from a Snell and DOT rating on that FF5E, and now we're looking at ECE and DOT here on the RT-33, and they've shaved 10 ounces off. So you go from 3 pounds 11 down to 3 pounds 1 ounce, and that is a huge, huge jump. You still have a helmet designed to be in the tuck, designed to be in the 3/4 position, designed to be aggressive and fit really well, but it's extremely lightweight. We went out, we put miles on it, and that was the big call out here. Because again, you're looking at tri-composite. If we look at it as a whole, premium materials, it's gonna be that blend of carbon fiber, fiberglass, organic resins, and you're stealing, again, a lot of the safety, comfort, and aerodynamic features off that FF5E, but it's dropping the weight, which is the big call out to us. And again, that's what we're homing in on, and that's why we're a big fan coming in around this $400 mark, because one of the lighter helmets on the market. Now, quick note on Fitment. Intermediate oval, a little bit longer front to back. That's what we typically see. Most helmets that are really doing a solid job in the American market these days, they're gonna come in with no surprises. Not overly round, not overly narrow. Again, if you're a little bit more narrow front to back, you should be fine. Most people actually are. Also note, remember, we're gonna ship for free over 39 bucks if you're concerned about sizing. And as always, click right here, subscribe to us at RevZilla TV, click our logo rather, leave me your comments, your questions, your feedback on our YouTube channel. Now, diving into the helmet itself, we look at it. Handful of colors available. This is my matte black. I like simple, classic, and nasty. And one of the things I really like that I'm gonna start with, I always work my way outside in, but if you look at the exterior of this helmet, it's very aggressive. It has some of these ridges baked in. It just has a really nice, clean, crisp line. A lot of guys out there like to go for graphic helmets because they say solids are too plain for them. If you look at a helmet like this, it has enough interesting going on that if you go down the solid route, you're just going kind of Batman style. If I spin it around, you see the way the wing works in across the back, great aerodynamic profile, very simple, but simple and aggressive, and that really works for me. Now, if we think about the vent scheme, 3 main vents going on here with a multitude of holes. You're gonna have your chin vent at the front, open, close, gonna vent up here to your visor. And the nice thing too is you see the tear-off post with an optically correct shield, but there's also gonna be a pin lock lens in the box. So you're getting that Max Vision pin lock you don't have to buy separately. That's a nice feature. That's 30 to 50 bucks on its own if you wanted to add it to another manufacturer's helmet. Moving into our chimney vent, again, on the FF5E, they're gonna be chimneys that are separated. This is a singular Mohawk style vent in the front, easy actuation even with a gloved hand the way they did this. A lot of times if you integrate it that far, at times it might be hard to find. And if we move our way into the back, you see the way that our wing extends here. It's a single piece wing working its way in. And again, a positive open and close on that bad boy that's going to be mesh lined from the back as well. So again, area of high pressure or area of high speed air creating low pressure behind the helmet, forcibly sucking that warm moist air through the helmet off your head, keeping you cool when you're riding. And again, you can see how it all sweeps back together. Great aerodynamic profile. We found it was reasonably quiet when we put miles on it as well. Now, some of the other things going on here, we talked about the shield, we talked about tear-offs, we talked about the pin lock system. If we open it up, you're gonna see a handful of detents, and it does have a spring-loaded mechanism pulling it together when you get close to the bottom. That's a good thing, because what I'd like to see them do to improve this helmet is beef up this gasket. Now, it is a sport and aggressive race style helmet, so a lot of times guys are spending less time when it's wet out riding in those conditions with a helmet like this, but still, I like to see maybe on a higher end helmet a beefier gasket. But what they've done to combat that, or to just offset it, is that you do have a spring lock mechanism that's gonna pull this shield back as it goes down. The other thing I thought that was pretty slick is the shield change removal system. 1-finger operation, that's it, very slick. Everybody's gotten good at these lately, but that was it. That's simple, no questions asked there. That's good engineering, that's good industrial design. Now, if we move over to this side, you're going to see there is a snap that's gonna give you that city position, and you do have a lock here on the visor, again, being a more sport and race-oriented helmets. You want things to stay in place, and you don't want any room for movement if you're doing head checks at high speed. And as I work my way into the guts here, remember, 3 shell sizes on the RT-33, bust out my donut here. One of the things you're gonna see too is, I like this cutaway. I like the design in all forms on this poly that they put down here across the bottom. It just has a nice form to it. It's well finished. It has a nice wing on front and back. One of the things I am gonna call out though, if you see here on the angle, Be thoughtful about the Bluetooth communicator unit you might want to put on this. If it's something like the Sena SMH-10R, it's going to be low profile and fit under that ridge, but other bigger, bulkier comm units, even if they're clamp mount, they might run into that ridge. Again, it's something to think about. It's a choice you're making by getting a helmet that has some of this design worked into the outer shell. Now, if we bust our way into the middle of it, you're going to see nice contour on our cheek pads. They're a mixture of neck roll, cheek pad. They have snaps. They also have some Velcro, so they're not creating pressure points if they don't need to. That's a nice touch. And as I open it up here, one of the things I am going to call out, again, it's Coolmax. It's going to be wicking. This is premium material that you see from the most high-end manufacturers. Nice contour, nice shape, nice support. Again, multi-density foams. And then it's going to be wicking and antimicrobial. But one of the things I am going to call out is there's no speaker cutouts. And this is my gripe with this helmet. If I really had one, a lot of guys that ride off the track are riding in environments these days. We see it more and more prevalently that people want to have that comm unit, whether they're riding in a group talking to their friends, or whether you're just connected with your GPS or you're listening to music. Being able to have those speakers in is a nice option. And this helmet doesn't have speaker cutaways, and those speakers are typically about 1/8 of an inch thick. So depending on your ear shape, depending on your ear size, really depending on your comfort level, not having that deep press that's worked into the EPS, it might leave you feeling it after a longer ride. So just keep that in mind. If we look at the rest of the guts, I'm going to pull the rest of my comfort liner out. 2 snaps, 3 snaps actually, at the occipital ridge, which you'll never feel. And what I like, Kabuto, they've listened. A lot of manufacturers are doing this right now, where it's a brow snap. So you'll see it at the front there. Notice it's not going to interface with your body or your forehead at all. Pulls out nicely along the front. You can see 3D cutaway, thermoformed. Brow snaps are non-existent. They really, or the brow snaps are plastic, and you don't have any of those big snaps that are actually worked into the comfort liner. And again, remember, that's going to be Coolmax. So that's going to be wicking, antimicrobial. It's going to work really well. Now, we open up the helmet, give a shot of the interior guts and where the ventilation channels are. You're going to see where the slots for the vents are, 10mm vent holes that are going to vent through. On a helmet of this nature, I might like to see a little bit more by way of channeling, but it does a decent job. Doesn't blow me away with the R&D that went into the EPS, but it blows me away when you think about how lightweight and the performance and the aerodynamic profile this guy's going to perform. Again, wearing a helmet like this, you're really going to notice that it's about 1/2 pound lighter than so many of the other high-end sport helmets on the market. And when you go a step back into something that might be more mid-range, you could be saving up to 1 pound. Those helmets sometimes get a little closer to the 4-pound mark. So remember, the RT-33 is going to steal a lot of race thoroughbred DNA from the FF5V, but again, super lightweight and a nice crossover between track and street. The next step in your journey is to click right here, read other rider reviews of the RT-33. You don't have to take my word for it. As always, we'll ship for free over $39. If you want to talk to a gear geek, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown. Remember, click our logo, subscribe to be on the YouTubes. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.